Hail to the king, baby. Hail to the king. Hi, everyone. Woo! Hi, everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Welcome to Raise on Popping with Grant, everybody. Today we're talking about a movie. A pretty big one at that. Movies and TVs that we do here. One of my most anticipated films of the year, and a few other people's. And that movie is Elvis. Elvis is directed, produced, and co-written by Baz Luhrmann. In his first feature film since 2013's The Great Gatsby, which I liked a lot more than other people. I think it was on my best of list that year. Whose previous works include Moulin Rouge, which I think is overrated, Romeo and Juliet, which I think is insanely underrated, and Australia, which was... He topped himself. So what is Elvis about? Do I have to say it? Well, I guess I should. We begin the story in medias res. A dying man by the name of Colonel Tom Parker, played by Tom Hanks, talks about how he has been villainized in the story of a young man that he discovered, a young man named Elvis Presley. We then go back in time and see the tragically short but very impactful life of the young man who will become the king of rock and roll, ultimately to his own self-destruction. A lot of it influenced by Parker. We'll see him meet his beloved Priscilla, become a father to little Lisa Marie, become a soldier, become a movie star, become a singer, and eventually become an addict, and eventually become dead. It's the life of Elvis through the eyes of the man who probably contributed to ending his life before it really began. Elvis? Okay, I'm going to say it right now. Grant's going to make a declaration. No one is allowed to make an Elvis movie from now on. I look like Wolverine, sorry. Jesus Christ. No one is allowed to... This is really killing my intro. Come on, buddy. Come on, baby. No one is allowed to make an Elvis movie ever again, and no one is allowed to play Elvis ever again. Butler, and also, I'm going to say this right now, not only is Austin Butler now a movie star, he will win Best Actor. The Oscar race began when this movie started, and it ended when the credits roll. I'm telling you right now, Elvis is getting a polarized reception, and I have to say, all classic films do, because I genuinely believe, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Elvis will become the gold standard for musical biopics. This is it, you guys. This is a classic already. This is one of those movies that is going to withstand the test of time because it tells a complete story, and it, not necessarily in an unformulaic way, but it does it in a way that gets to the heart of this young guy who died believing he never did anything, when in actuality he did everything. And he changed the face of music, he changed the face of pop culture, he changed the face of everything. And Austin Butler, holy shit, he became the king of rock and roll. Tom Hanks plays it a little over the top. I actually didn't mind him in the movie. I know that he's a point of contention for a lot of the people who really hate it. I have to admit, David Ehrlich's line about how he's Kentucky Fried Goldmember was pretty, honestly, kind of amusing, and I thought of it the whole movie. I also want to point out, though, a lot of people aren't talking about her. Olivia DeJonge, I believe that's her name. She previously was in the film The Visit. Kind of looks a little bit like a young Kirsten Dunst. She is really good as Priscilla Presley. Not enough people, I think, are talking about how good she is as well. Especially in a couple of really big scenes between her and Butler that are just heartbreaking. When the movie ended, there was a hush that kind of fell over the audience. Not a hush of, dislike. A hush of, admiration. Because we talked to each other after the movie. Everybody loved it. It was one of those movies where it was, a respectful hush. It was almost like being at, a eulogy. After a eulogy. Luhrmann, what he does is... And yes, there are some modern soundtrack choices. It's a Baz Luhrmann film, after all. And that's maybe the one element that maybe won't age the best in the world. Although, then again... I kind of like that Eminem seal. And they said, a lot of people said the same thing about Lady Marmalade from Moulin Rouge, and that stood the test of time. So, who knows? This is my favorite Baz Luhrmann movie, and you know what? I don't think there's anything more that needs to be said. Go see Elvis. I saw the movie also in Dolby. Oh, okay, there is one more thing to point out. He also nails... There's the key moment when he's first off, he does a smart thing by actually kind of shadowing Austin Butler until his kind of big moment where he's introduced on stage there. But when he's talking about the reaction, he says, like, it was like being, like, something along the lines of, like, it was like being in a jungle. They could have eaten him alive. It looks like that. He nails through the sound design and the female actresses they get to play, like, the extras who are crowding the stage that first moment. It looks almost like a horror film. It almost looks like they're gonna rip him limb from, like, it shows the fervor of what that probably was like beautifully. Look, I love this movie. I'm going to be in a minority right now of a few, but I'm telling you guys, in about 10 years, I'm not going to be in the minority of it anymore. I'm going to be in the majority. This is going to stand the test of time, and I'm going to give Elvis, you see it, bang, 5 out of 5 stars. Plus, this is one of the very best films of 2022. I loved this movie. And I went in with a lot of hesitation, because I've been burned before with previous Elvis kind of movies. But man, this is the one, guys. This really... If you're not at least somewhat misty-eyed in the last 15 minutes of this movie, you might not be human. Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for Elvis. Let's close the book on it. It's really that good. I feel sometimes like I need to defend myself when I do this many 5-star movies. People need to understand, like, I see more movies than the average person, so there is, like, a large, stew pot of 5-star movies but there's also a large pot of, like, negatively reviewed movies, too. I also have, like, at least 13 or 14 movies that could qualify for a worst list, too. Alright, trailer trash. Let's talk some trailer trash. Bros. This looks really funny. It's written by Billy Eichner. It is... I actually looked it up afterwards because I hadn't heard of it before. It's apparently the first major studio movie theatrically released to have... to be written by a gay man, and to have the entire cast and majority of the crew be LGBTQ, including the straight characters in the film, and I thought that was really cool. Looks really funny. Avatar: The Way of Water. Seen this trailer a bunch. Again, visually interesting. It's gonna look beautiful, but the story, I don't know. Where the Crawdads Sing. We talked about this a couple times before. It looks really good. I love Daisy Edgar Jones now after Fresh, so I can't wait to check it out. This one's brilliant. White Bird: A Wonder Story. This is a sequel to 2017's Wonder about the bully who bullied Augie in Wonder. I know they kind of redeem him at the end, but they made a whole sequel movie about this character. I mean, I'll go see it. I liked the first one. It looks a little bit like... It's primarily going to be, like, a period piece with his grandmother. Helen Mirren's in it. It looks good. And if it's anything like Wonder, I loved Wonder. It was one of the more underrated films of 2017. I'll be checking it out for sure. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Needless to say, I think this is awesome. We've talked about it a bunch. It looks fucking rad. Mr. Malcolm's List. I am seeing this movie next Thursday after Minions. It's going to be the second of the double reviews we have. And, I have not seen the trailer until today, and I was thinking, like, oh, well, Mr. Malcolm's List, what's this? Okay, I'll buy a ticket. It looks really cute. I like it. It's like a period romantic comedy drama with Frida Pinto from Slumdog Millionaire. Haven't seen her in a while. Nice. And Luke Crane from Haunting of Hill House, The Invisible Man. Yeah, that guy. Whatever his name is. Looks good. Also, the guy who plays Mr. Malcolm in it, I don't think it's him, but he kind of looks a little bit like Leon Bridges. I don't know if that's Leon Bridges. He kind of looks like Leon Bridges. He has kind of the same facial features as Leon Bridges. Thor: Love and Thunder, we talked about it. Looks good. Don't Worry, Darling, we talked about it a couple times. I'm really excited. I'm on board for anything Olivia Wilde does now. Black Adam, this movie looks fucking rad. Alright. And was there shawarma? Kind of. Basically, it's not a scene, but it's a little, I'll just call it what Baz Luhrmann called it at Cannes. It's a little surprise. It's a nice little surprise. The credits also are kind of decked out in a big way, and then there's like a little, I guess a graphic. Basically, there's a graphic that calls a graphic that opens the movie, also closes the movie, and there's like a little surprise. We're sticking around for it. Alright. part of the whole, you're already there, you've already sat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, you might as well stay for the credits. Alright, we'll be back tomorrow for The Black Phone. We will also have reviews this weekend for Rise, Trevor the Musical, and The Man from Toronto. And that'll all be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all, I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed, I love you 3000, be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does, if that's what you're supposed to do, or so I've been told. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Raising on Popcorn with Grant, or my podcast, Raising on Popcorn with Grant, the podcast, on Spotify and Anchor. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. I want to know down below, what did you think of Elvis? I know that a lot of you won't like it as much as I did, but let me know what you thought. Do you like the movie? Do you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? You think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn, make mine with extra butter, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm all shook up. Alright, see you guys next time. Good movie.